A couple of days ago, while picking up my morning coffee and donuts, I had a conversation with a friend about the whole black Harvard scholar being racially profiled and arrested in his Cambridge, Massachusetts home thing. This friend assumed I would automatically side with the professor, as this whole incident was yet another example of racism in America. Let me put my response in proper context. I grew up in Cambridge, and Harvard Square was my teen hangout. Back in the day, the unwritten rule was don't mess with the Cambridge police. We called them Gestapo, even though we really didn't know much about what the Gestapo was. This fear was colorblind and gender neutral. Also, during my years of writing, I've had consistent disdain for celebrities who use that famous line, "Do you know who I am?" Whenever I hear that, my judgment becomes clouded because only arrogant elites assume they are better than us, thus the rules don't apply to them. When hearing about the arrest of Professor Henry Louis Gates Jr., director of the W.E.B. Du Bois Institute for African and African American Research at Harvard, something just didn't smell right. The way the story's been reported, police arrived at Professor Gates' home near Harvard Square to question him as he had trouble unlocking his door after it became jammed. Now, without getting into my personal business, I have been pulled over. As a practice, I'm automatically in yes sir, yes ma'am mode with the police. I've always found that courtesy is usually quite disarming. And I'm just speculating because I've never done it, but going off on a police officer doesn't strike me as the smartest thing to do. Ever. According to a police report, Professor Gates accused the investigating officer of being a racist and told him he had no idea who he was messing with, and that he was being targeted because I'm a black man in America. The term racial profiling is negative code for police doing their job. If a disproportionate number of red-headed teens were seen as committing crime, it would be irresponsible of the cops not to keep an eye out for red-headed teens. Cambridge, Massachusetts is 12% black. I haven't been able to easily find the racial breakdown of crime there, but that may be due to the very liberal makeup of the city. But if blacks are committing more than 12% of the crime in the affluent area where the professoriate live, then the Cambridge police would be hassled for not following up on reports of suspicious behavior. Professor Gates is in the race business and displayed elitism when all he had to do was cooperate. Mouthing off to cops gets congresspersons, multimillionaire celebrities, and athletes arrested, and the police know whom they're messing with. Should I side with Professor Gates just because he's black? Many seem to believe I would and should. But if Gates fully cooperated with the police and was courteous, chances are this wouldn't have escalated as it did. I don't make money looking for racism, so I don't see it when it's not there. This is Bob Parks, Black and Right, and you can find my columns, videos, and radio rants online. I'll be back here next week at the same time on 97.3 FM WJDF.